Is Republican Congressman from Michigan. His name is Thaddeus McCotter, and he is here and he joins us right now. Okay, so Congressman, there are some sticking points on this legislation. Some of the Republicans say, as you just heard, that this won't make your legislation that you're supporting right now will not make U.S. automakers competitive with the foreign market, and that we're just delaying the inevitable funeral of the big three automakers. What do you say to that?
Well, I think two things. First of all, that means that they have a fundamental failure to grasp the restructuring that's gone on in the auto industry to date, just as they equally probably have a fundamental inability to grasp their own electoral prospects of telling working people that we can bail out Wall Street, but not people who wear jeans to work.
Sir, excuse me. And I know that this is a sensitive issue, especially for folks from Michigan, but you said that the industry has been doing restructuring. Had they really been doing the restructuring that they needed to over the past 30 years, they wouldn't have their hands out begging for this $14 billion. Just last week, they were asking for 34, and economists who are up on Capitol Hill say, you know what, it's going to take $125 billion likely to bail out all these companies.
Ma'am, I know this is a sensitive issue to people like yourself as well, but it's unfortunate that you've not been paying attention to the restructuring in people's districts that's been going on, the white and blue collar layoffs, the retirees losing benefits, the plants closing, and especially all the while trying to fight off new government mandates from Washington, such as the multi-billion-dollar CAFE standard that was imposed upon a restructuring industry, or such as the unforeseen circumstance of the entire credit market being jeopardized by the failure to self-governing greed of people on Wall Street.
Look, this problem did not come from the financial markets. This problem has been brewing for decades and decades. And I understand that you're from Michigan. You're going to take that point of view.
No, ma'am, I understand. Ma'am, the auto industry restructuring was based upon two things: the financing of automobiles and the selling of short-term commercial paper to keep them operational and keep running, much like your federal government, unfortunately. When the credit market seized up, they had to go into their billions of dollars of cash reserves. That is what has been burned up from the time of the crash in October till now. That is why they are forced to be here today.
We don't have a whole lot of time left, so let's talk about this proposal that the White House and some congressional Democrats and you, as I understand it, have agreed upon. Why do you give them the money now, the automakers the money now, and then require next year, 3 or 4 months from now, an actual restructuring plan? Why not require a restructuring plan before you give the money?
The restructuring plan, pieces of legislation are done by a lot of people. The restructuring plan reflects what's already being done and what we know has to continue. The auto industry has been aware of this. They have been going through it. They know that even if the bridge loan is approved, painful restructuring is going to occur. People are going to be hurt by this to get to the long-term viability of the industry. We understand that. We accept that. And if the government wants to put that in a bill, that's just a recognition of the reality that we live with every day. No one wants to repay the taxpayers more than the taxpayers who work in these industries and wish to see them survive.
All right. Congressman Thaddeus McCotter, a Republican from the state of Michigan, thank you so much. Obviously, this is a heated debate on what we would normally say both sides of the aisle, but here we are talking to two Republicans who have very different points of view on this. Coming up next, they refused to deny